You're listening to Executive Leaders Radio, broadcast from the law offices of Polsinelli in Washington, D.C. This is your host, Herb Cohen, with my co-host, John Schuhart, and Phil Fagan, Polsinelli, Greg Jacobs, Polsinelli, Brian McKnight, Noam Fishman, Alan Wheat, and Kristen Jones from Polsinelli. We have a great lineup of guests for you in our show today. John, will you please give us the rundown?
Our first guest is Imran Akram, CEO of NuAxis Innovation. Then we'll be talking with Bill Joseph and Tom Burton. They're the co-CEOs of Potomac Healthcare Solutions. Then we'll talk to Phil McNeil, the managing partner of Farragut Capital. Our fourth guest is Andrew Gross, president and CEO of Nortec Communications Incorporated. And we'll finish up with Jim Villa, senior vice president and general counsel of Versar.
Excellent. Let's get to know our first guest, Imran Akram, CEO of NuAxis Innovations. Imran, what is NuAxis Innovations? What do you guys do?
NuAxis is a government IT services provider. We do agile development and infrastructure support for the federal government.
How large or how small is this company?
We are 370 people serving the U.S. government in 22 states of the
Where are you from originally?
I'm originally from Pakistan.
Pakistan. How young were you when you came to the United States?
I was 24 years old, came here for my graduate degree.
Mm-hmm. So you were 24 years old, you came to the United States, and did you tell me a story earlier that when you were a kid, there was something that influenced you in terms of your wanderlust? Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, my father was in the army, and he went to do a master's degree from King's College London. He chose to drive out to England from Pakistan. We traveled through about 21 countries.
How many brothers and sisters do you have?
I'm an only child.
So it was you, your mom, and your dad drove from Pakistan to the UK?
Yes, in a Volkswagen Beetle.
A Volkswagen Beetle?
Yep.
And what year was this?
This was 1971.
And how'd this influence you?
So I saw a lot of countries. I was about 8 years old and traveled through so many countries. Great experience for a kid that age.
When you say you traveled through these countries, did you ever stop?
Yeah, we camped through the way. I mean, he was an army officer, didn't have too much money, so mostly we camped.
You camped. And what did you learn in through the course of that camping and hanging out with the local people and finding out what these societies were really all about?
Well, I mean, at that age, we were fortunate that those times were different, really. I mean, you couldn't do that today with what's going on in the world.
What'd you learn? What did you learn camping in all those countries?
I learned that people were people, no matter what language or where they were from, and generally they were very hospitable.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm wondering how that knowledge helped you start a business that's now 370 people.
I saw the world outside of Pakistan. It was my wish to travel the world. And the first opportunity I got right after finishing my undergrad, I got a scholarship here to the U.S. and I didn't even blink an eye. Just took that opportunity and came here. Heard a lot about the promise of the U.S. and it's all true.
Excellent. Noam.
What is it about that road trip with your parents that impacts how you manage your employees today?
I think it's gave me an opportunity to meet so many different people and develop an empathy for them. And one additional fact, my father was in the army and he was a born leader. The way I saw him treat his men, the way I saw him care for them, I think that's inculcated in me a great empathy for our people in the company, making sure that they develop. One of the core tenets that we have is to promote from within.
Excellent. Alan?
You talk a lot about how your father impacted you, but you were in the Volkswagen Beetle for how long on that trip?
Going and coming back, total about 30 days each way.
So you spent a lot of time with your mom too. How did she impact you and your view of business?
She was the nurturing person in our family, and the empathy that I have for people, I think, came from her.
Let me ask you one more question, kind of a curveball. You told me that your son is currently in Mississippi. Did he get these same kind of values for open culture and enjoying other cultures from you that you got from your parents?
I think he did. One more thing, his love for the military, I think he got from his grandfather, because my wife's father was also in the military. So, and I didn't join the military, and I think it skipped a generation, but he kept it up.
Excellent. Philip, your question?
Yeah, you mentioned earlier that your parents doted on you because you were an only child. That is maybe different than a lot of leaders of organizations. How does that affect how you're a leader?
So I think that actually, gave me this desire to do something on my own, because I always felt my father eventually became a general in the Pakistan Army, and anything I did over there, he cast a big shadow. And when I came to the U.S., I felt that I was here on my own. Anything I did was due only to my merit and my abilities and the opportunities that this country gives immigrants. And I just love that culture here of rewarding hard work and
Greg,
merit.
Brian, questions? No, please.
Earlier you mentioned that your mother passed on, and it caused a bit of a void in your life. And how did overcoming that void shape who you are as a leader today?
I felt that I had to prove that I was somebody on my own, and the trust and the dreams that my mom had for me, I'm just living up to that.
Imran, did your mom have a sense of the success? How young were you when your mom passed?
I was in high school, about 18, I think.
If your mom was here today, how do you think she'd feel about the success you've enjoyed?
I think she would be extremely proud.
Why?
Because she believed in me, and I think if whatever I do, I'm doing. I have this sense of accomplishing the dreams that she had for me.
Do you ever get involved with giving back?
I do. So
why do you do that?
I do that because this country gave me everything that I have. Coming to the U.S., finding myself, because I felt, if I had gone back, I would have had a very cushy life. I think staying back in the U.S., facing the difficulties that I did face initially, the tough decisions, for example, leaving a job and starting an enterprise on my own. My son was only a few months old. I only had rent for the apartment for maybe a couple of months. So those decisions, I think, have made me what I am today.
Mm-hmm.
And if I had not faced up to those things, I don't think I would have found myself.
Mm-hmm. Noah?
Imran, you mentioned coming to the United States because your father had such a large shadow in Pakistan. Now that you've started your own venture and you've grown as you've grown, what type of legacy do you want to have? What kind of shadow will cause you to say, I've succeeded?
Great question, because we talk about that every day in the company with my senior management. As the company has grown, there's been many opportunities to sell or merge. We believe in NuAxis. We believe that we have something great going. We have a wonderful culture within the company. We have extremely high retention, close to 99%. The core team's been with me since the day we started. I think we're going to take this company somewhere, and that's the legacy we want to leave.
What is the website address for NuAxis Innovations, Imran?
It's NuAxis.com.
NuAxis.com.
That's NuAxis.
NuAxis.com. We've been speaking with Imran Akram, CEO of NuAxis Innovations, here on Executive Leaders Radio. Don't forget to visit our website, executiveleadersradio.com, to learn more about our executive leaders. It's executiveleadersradio.com. To learn more about our executive leaders, and we will be back in a moment right after this business spotlight.